This video contains details about a true crime case involving violence and sensitive subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to Mimi's True Crime Podcast, where we uncover the truth and expose the signs. I'm Mimi, and on this channel, we discuss the cases of femicide that too often go unspoken. My goal is to educate, raise awareness, and honor the victims. Today, we are looking at the unsolved death of Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella Robinson was a 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina. She went on a birthday trip to Mexico with friends and never came home. 3 years later, questions remain. But before she was a headline, she was a daughter, a friend, and a boss. Let me introduce you to Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella was born on January 9, 1997 in Charlotte, North Carolina. She was a proud graduate of Winston-Salem State University, a historically black university. She was described by classmates and faculty as a firecracker, someone full of life, school spirit, and driven to succeed. She was a go-getter. At just 25 years old, she was the owner of the Exquisite Kids in Charlotte. She didn't just braid hair. She specialized in braiding children's hair. This shows patience, care, and a community focus. She was known for making young girls feel beautiful. She was also a fashionista. She loved fashion. Her Instagram was filled with her modeling different outfits, and she took pride in her appearance. She had main character energy. She had a natural light. She was successful, independent, and paid her own way. Traits that we now know can trigger deadly jealousy in frenemies. And finally, she was a daughter. She was incredibly close to her parents, especially her father, Bernard Robinson, and her mother, Salamandra. She wasn't just a friend on a trip. She was the baby of the family, who called her mom all the time. Sadly, she loved her friends, and on October 28, 2022, she trusted them enough to take them on a birthday trip to Mexico. She never came home. On October 28, 2022, Shanquella arrived in Puerto Los Cabos, Mexico, with 6 people. Among them were Khalil Cook, Malik St. Patrick Dyer, Winter Essence Donovan, Elise Michelle Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, who has since changed her name to Imani Green, and Nazir Wiggins, a group later nicknamed the Cabo Six. Guess what? Khalil Cook and Dejanay Jackson, aka Imani Green, were supposed to be Shanquella's best friends. The mood was initially happy. A video posted to Instagram shows Shanquella walking around the villa, joking with her friends, asking, "Where y'all at?" as they got ready for dinner. She felt safe. She had no idea that within 24 hours, these same people would call her mother and lie about how she died. The tension began to build early the next morning. According to a 2026 Crime Junkie podcast episode, a witness named Mike claims he received a phone call around 3 a.m. Mike claims Dejanay Jackson called him crying, saying she and Shanquella had an argument while drinking and that she wanted Shanquella to leave the trip. Between 7 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., a physical altercation took place inside the villa. This event was captured on a cell phone video that would not leak to the public until weeks later. The footage shows Shanquella, who is naked, being beaten by a female travel companion. A man is heard recording the video saying, "Quella, can you at least back?" Shanquella responds, "No," indicating she does not want to fight.
Quilla, can you at least fight back?
No.
At least something. At least fight back, something.
Get up, bro. Get up.
Yeah,
The situation turned critical that afternoon. At 2:13 p.m., a doctor was called to the villa. When the doctor arrived, she found Shanquella dehydrated and unable to speak. The doctor recommended taking Shanquella to the hospital immediately. The travel companions refused. They insisted she be treated in the villa. At 4:13 p.m., Shanquella suffered a seizure and began having trouble breathing. Finally, at 4:20 p.m., Winter Donovan called an ambulance. Paramedics arrived and performed CPR, but it was too late. At 5:57 p.m., Shanquella Robinson was pronounced dead. This is where the cover-up begins. The friends didn't call the police to report a murder. They called Shanquella's mom, Salamandra, and told her a story that would later be proven false. They saying she drank too much alcohol. They left her body in Mexico, stole $10,000 from her, and flew back to the U.S. like nothing happened. But the truth came out. The official autopsy report from Mexico contradicted the friend's story entirely. Key fact: the autopsy showed no alcohol in her system. Instead, the cause of death was listed as severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, a broken neck. Per the Charlotte Observer, on Saturday, February 18, 2023, several dozen activists and the family of Shanquella Robinson marched to the post office on North McDowell Street to send 1,000 letters in pink envelopes to Mexican officials, demanding justice for Shanquella. Now, we need to pause the timeline and talk about the red flag. Shanquella's death teaches us a terrifying lesson about the frenemy. First, jealousy. Shanquella was the one paying for the villa. She was the one shining. In our community, we often ignore the signs of envy because we want to be nice. Second, the warning. Pay attention to the friends who don't clap for you. Pay attention to the friends who make small, snide comments about your success. A snide comment is an unkind, disrespectful, or derogatory remark that criticizes someone in an indirect, subtle, or sly manner. Often disguised as a joke or polite observation, these comments are meant to be malicious or belittling, causing emotional discomfort. Pay attention to other so-called friends' reactions when those comments are made. As we saw in the video, Shanquella's so-called friends watched her get beaten and did nothing. That level of hate doesn't appear overnight. It builds up. And third, travel safety. When you travel, you are vulnerable. If the vibe feels off, if the jealousy starts showing, do not worry about ruining the trip. Pack your bags and leave. Your life is worth more than a vacation. And if they are no longer your friends after you choose to protect your peace, it is okay, because they weren't true friends in the first place, and you can find other and even better friends. It has been over 3 years. No one has been extradited. The FBI closed the case in April 2023 due to insufficient evidence, but the family continues to fight. Her father, Bernard Robinson, has said, "I'm not going to let this go, and neither will we."
New movement in several court cases WCNC Charlotte has kept an eye on, including the Shanquella Robinson civil case. In this one, a woman accused in the case is now claiming self-defense. A filing submitted on behalf of Amani Green alleges that any altercation she may have been in with Robinson was started by Robinson. That filing also says that Robinson did not tell anyone about possible medical issues that she was facing. The Robinson family is suing the 6 people that traveled with Shanquella when she died on that trip in Mexico.
To this now, it has been more than 2.5 years since 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson died while vacationing with friends in Cabo, Mexico, and her family says that they're still fighting for answers.
Today, a federal judge heard arguments in a lawsuit Shanquella's mother filed against the FBI, the State Department, and the people who were on the trip.
WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre was in the courtroom today, joining us now from Uptown Live. So, Jesse, what's the latest in this case?
Well, every side was heard in this case today, and every party named in this lawsuit is asking the judge to dismiss this case. And attorneys for some of Shanquella Robinson's travel companions are asking that if the case be heard, that it be heard in Mexico.
United States citizen should not be allowed to go overseas, harm another, or be involved in harm with another United States citizen and come back to the United States and essentially say that they're on base, that they're not going to be held liable, accountable, or responsible.
Shanquella Robinson died in Mexico in 2022. At first, friends told her family it was alcohol poisoning, but then a video surfaced showing Shanquella being violently beaten on the trip. Now her mother is suing the FBI, the U.S. Department of State, and the 6 people who were on the trip. Attorneys for the travel mates want the lawsuit thrown out, but argue if it is heard, Mexico's the proper place to handle the case because that's where the incident happened, where the key evidence is, and where 24 other witnesses are, like the medical professionals and the law enforcement who handled the case. But Sue Robinson, who represents Shanquella's estate, strongly disagrees, saying the conspiracy and cover-up into Shanquella's death happened here in the U.S.
The convenient forum would be the forum in which all 6 of the individuals who were present in the room when the crime occurred, for them to be heard and give their testimony and have their day in court here.
She also raised concerns about a trial in Mexico with a language barrier and navigating the justice system there.
The Mexican civil litigation system is completely different. There's no jurors.
Attorneys for the travel mates declined to say much outside of the courtroom.
We have no comment at this time.
No comment.
Meanwhile, Shanquella Robinson's father, who was in the courtroom, says he is not giving up.
Only thing I can do is stand for Shanquella and talk. Be her mouth, be her voice, because she didn't deserve this at all.
So what's next? Well, the judge heard all of the arguments in this case but has not made a final decision yet, so we'll be watching out for that final ruling. Live in Uptown, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, thank you for keeping us posted, Jesse.
Shanquella's case is a painful reminder that sometimes the danger isn't a stranger. It's the person holding the camera, the friend you're traveling with, eating with, and sharing a room with. If you believe Shanquella deserves justice, please like this video so her story keeps spreading. And if you want to stay informed on the cases that matter to our community, hit that subscribe button. I'm Mimi. Let's protect each other. Justice for Shanquella. Justice for her. Thanks again for being here for Shanquella's video. See you in the next one.